Stephanie. Everyone, this is Stephanie. Give her a round of applause. Stephanie, do you know what this is? I mean, a pill, yes, but... Is this happiness? Is this a refreshing, cool splash of water to the face? Is this that ridiculously hot girl on the 3rd floor of your building's number? Then, is this a date with that ridiculously hot girl on the 3rd floor of your building? Then, is this sex you have that night with that ridiculously hot girl on the 3rd floor of your building that makes you wonder if this is what real love really feels like, or if that's an overstatement to compensate for the emotional damage you experienced from your last relationship with someone who can give you all the love in the world but never love you for who you are? Sorry, it could be a guy as well, whatever you prefer. Is this confidence, not Viagra, you finally got it up type of confidence? Out of all my problems, that isn't one of them. This pill is used for depression. That was the sound of the air leaving the room. Did you hear that? Woo, I'm glad I held that fart in. That sucker was coming out too. Oh my God, how embarrassing could that have been? Everyone would have heard that. I could have blamed it on Stephanie, but I wouldn't do that. I used to be that guy. I could do it, but I wouldn't. Yes, this itty-bitty pill is used to treat an earth-shattering mental illness that I share with probably most of you. Hi, I'm Ethan, and I suffer from depression. Feels good. What I need is to get it off my chest. Well, really, it feels like it's in my chest, like eating away at my insides! But other than that, it feels great. You guys get it. We're gonna have some fun, yeah? I used to be really embarrassed to say the D word. Sometimes the D word would get choked up in my throat and I could feel the walls of my mouth just caving in around it. Like this. Dad, I'm duh. I'm down. Like that. I don't mind saying it anymore, but you know, there's gotta be a better word for us. Actually, from now on, every time we use the word dick, it means depression. Okay? Trust me on this, guys. But seriously now, time for serious. I used to not be able to talk about my dick. Every day I would walk around with this deep, dark dick in my gut. When I was growing up, the only way I could describe my dick was as a black hole in my chest, with this huge, swirling mass that would extract all the light from inside me. And I would lay in bed, looking up at the ceiling, and all I could focus on was what was wrong with me. Like it was an addiction or obsession, that thought. Wondering what I could have done to have deserved to have this much dick in me. And you know what I learned? I did nothing. I did nothing. So then why did the black hole choose me? Is it because it knew I was never going to speak up? I'm just surprised nobody realized how I felt. Like, I loved to play tennis. Then I gradually stopped going outside. I stopped leaving my room. I stopped fucking moving. For hours, I drowned out my thoughts in front of the TV. I remember the mornings hearing my dad wake up and get into the kitchen, and that's when I shut it off. Make he would come into my room, TV still crackling off, and there I was, fake snoring as if I needed a fucking oxygen tank at 10. He would come in with a VHS tape in hand, always the Blues Brothers, and put it into the VCR. He would sit on the bed next to me, all while I laid there acting dead asleep. I was so afraid to reveal that I'd been up all night that I knew he was there with me. And he would watch. And I would eventually drift to sleep. I always thought the black hole chose me because I'm the size of a hobbit. Yeah, you know, the only thing worse than having what I have is being short. That is a fact. The American Association for Mental Illness has stated that themselves in like edition 45 of their manual. Totally says that, go check it out. Look, Stephanie, you try being a dicked out man with a Napoleon complex. Seeking power, war, and conquest. I used to think, you know, if only I was tall. Kids in elementary school would just shoot up in height. Then kids in middle school would have their voices drop and become sexually charged with bar mitzvahs to practice grinding and making out in the middle of the dance floor to Boom Boom Pow by the Black Eyed Peas. Specific. But a huge problem for me was feeling I wasn't worth much. So, without me really knowing it, and without anybody truly understanding, I felt alone. But fuck that noise! About my inability to take an itty-bitty pill for my crippling dick, yeah. Crippling dick, yeah. I got a crippling dick, yeah. And I got back problems. You know I heard on the TV that this shit is genetic? Yeah, it's not my fault. One motherfucker decided that all of us down the line would have to handle all of their shit. No wonder I've mentally been through so much. I'm dealing with 14th century depression here. Not only would I have this, but probably the plague too. And when you think about it, what's the real difference between the plague and depression? One just blackens the skin, and the other blackens the soul. But I learned my grandpa had his own case of blues that my dad inherited as well. All through genetics, but through learned behavior too. And my grandpa was so absent for him due to his mental illness. So then what did I get? It was someone who was never loved now having to understand how to love his own child. What was it about me that made it so hard to love? Because I'm trying my hardest here. And I'm trying to be better constantly, I promise. You want me to not act like I have a mental illness instead of just being there for me through it. I'm trapped alone and I'm scared because it feels like there's something inside of me that just doesn't like me and it's out to get rid of me. Stop, just stop! I'm sorry. It's getting a little dark in here. Because that wasn't funny, right? No, don't answer that. Let's lighten the mood, yeah? Julio, play the clip of the gorilla twerking. I'm just kidding, we don't have a clip. No, but seriously, we do. Play the clip. I'm just kidding, we don't have one. But if I did, it would look something like this. talk about some of the good, and especially about my dad. You know, I started to paint a rougher image of him. My dad had the most adventurous life, living it to the fullest. He motorcycled to Europe, owned a farm in New York for absolutely no reason at all, bought and crashed expensive cars like a 1963 MGB. He was always in the right place at the right time, like catching the winning home run ball of the 1988 World Series. Crowd surfed onto the stage of a Blues Brothers concert where the Blues Brothers themselves gave him their sunglasses and special hats. I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. Oh, he walked out there and called him another Blues Brother. Oh, and then my favorite one. Saving Bill Cosby's car from being snowed in, then randomly met him years later to tell him the tale. I know that one isn't as exciting anymore because of the whole, you know.
Here's a little treat for my pudding pop. I'm talking to you, my little pudding pop.
He's a rapist, that's why it's not exciting. But my dad has a ton of other history. You know, for me, he was in this time of his life where those adventurous days seemed to be behind him, so he told stories. Well, I grew up with these stories, this impression that my dad was this larger-than-life guy. Even how he spoke to strangers made it seem like he was the life of the party. It wasn't until many years later that I found out what was really behind all the stories. Someone so afraid to be alive that, ironically, they treated every day like it'd be their last. Funny how something so negative can be a positive. My dad left me something that I'd actually like to recite. Picture this. 2002, New York City, winter. You are about 6 years old. We go for a street adventure, a long stroller ride in the park. I would start pushing so quickly with you leaning forward and fiercely holding on to the front bar. And out of that tiny mouth would come the loudest, most intense screeching with joy sound you can imagine. Fast forward to 2019. Now it's one air-conditioned space to another. Where's the adventure in that? Memories, yeah. I've got thousands. The best and the worst. But you were one of the best. I love you. You are all I had, Dad. My dad killed himself. My dad killed himself 4 days ago. My dad is dead for killing himself. My dad killed himself 4 days ago. I'm not not sure I understand what's going on, that I am, I'm all alone now. I mean, I felt alone before, but now I'm completely alone. Which isn't very funny. I'm at your funeral because you didn't do anything about your blues. You wouldn't even take an itty-bitty pill because you were terrified to put a name to this feeling. And I'm sorry you died alone because I was just wrapped up in my own. But you died of something that maybe I could have helped or controlled. This right here is happiness. This is a refreshing, cool splash of water to the face. This is one of those warm little towels they give you at a restaurant to clean your hands with. This is moving forward.